Year, tiny sample size. His dream school, of course, is the University of Arkansas. Along with playing for this artillery team, he plays for the SBA Sticks team. He plays for Wow Factor Nation 14U. He's the son of Amanda and Kyle, and Kyle is stepdad, Amanda his mom, and he's the brother to Landon and Carson, his siblings at home. This is a Razorbacks dreamer as he looks over into that other dugout and sees in the red the East Cobb Angels. East Cobb Angels, a unique program run by Victor Moreno. Moreno partnering with East Cobb, and he's been with the East Cobb group for a long, long time, maybe taking a small step into his own lane with the East Cobb Angels. Very, very big on competition and also the student of the game. He wants his parents and his players to be students and understand the history of the game, their role in all of it. So it's fun. I mean, Victor's been teaching the game for an awful long time, works at C.R. Tippin's Education Center, works with children with special needs. That's his passion, part of the Cherokee County School District. That's Victor Moreno. So we're excited to see his athletes. We'll share and you'll hear from both Ajay and Victor coming from very different places, and that's what makes this fun throughout this show. If we have a chance, we had a wonderful conversation with both leaders. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and tell you, hop on MLB Network Radio if you subscribe to SiriusXM tomorrow night. After tomorrow night's Sunday night game of the week that you see on ESPN and you hear on MLB Network Radio, we share the only show devoted to amateur baseball. It's Perfect Games, MLB Round Trip with Perfect Game, and I have in-depth conversation with both of these leaders, Victor Moreno of the East Cobb Angels and Ajay Vulameri, the leader of Artillery Baseball. 2028's a 14U team. It's our Perfect Game of the week. Our production team on campus there at East Cobb. I'm here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and the leaders of all that goes on out in Orange, California, Steve Banta and his team. Excited that you have joined us today. Let's play baseball. It's our game of the week, and we are underway. Rolling that score bug. Let's go to work. Fastball zips in the upper tier of the strike zone, and Charles McWilliams leads things off. Trust you had a good week to this point. Glad you're hanging out with us. We're about the athletes. We're about honoring the athletes, telling you the stories of their families. As that one with a little bit of cut is fouled off. First pitch of the game, by the way, was 79 miles an hour. Goes by Charlie, and his mom and dad are Adam and Nicole. And his younger sibling is Jameson. And he's a big Austin Riley fan. He'll be going to Pope High School. He's a 2028. Hands extended away from his body, and that breaking ball is rolled foul. They talked to these athletes throughout the week, communicating whether it's virtually or those that are on campus in person. The one thing that Charlie will tell you is his hitting has really improved in 2024. He says, and these are his words, "I was in a slump before. Now I hit much better. I've gotten more comfortable, disciplined the strike zone, knowing how to aggressively attack." There's a good example of it there. Big arm, good speed. Charlie will also pitch. He's the center fielder in this game today for now. He fouls that one off back up into the screen. Victor Moreno, the leader of these East Cobb Angels, has done baseball leadership with Fury Baseball in Woodstock for about a half decade. The East Cobb Angels were born in 2010. An instructor at East Cobb as well since 2018 until now. The 1-2. Just a little bit off the plate outside. We're seeing velo again right up into the high 70s. We've seen one off speed pitch. As a matter of fact, we've seen two changeups that he's pulled that are into the low 70s. From Austin Hill. The Arkansas native on 2-2 spikes the fastball in there, and we'll do it now with a 3-2 count. You think about East Cobb teams, right? As he steps back into the box, just Mick Williams, and such a crazy history. If your team has been tied to East Cobb and you're an athlete tied to East Cobb baseball, and the tradition of their program is that's outside on the corner, that's strike three. He saw it out, and a home plate umpire tightening things up just a little bit. Nice tail on this pitch, just a little bit of run at the end. Watson Ferrari doing the framing. McWilliams goes down on strikes. Ethan Machini takes a pitch low and inside and off the plate. Feet close together, right up on that chalk line, into the batter's box as he takes low. 1-1 the count on Ethan. Ethan, a Marietta man as well. He's 14 plus years old. Right-handed thrower, right-handed hitter. He takes that one up and away. Ethan's worked 14 innings on the mound in the last PG season. In his 16 games with a bat in his hands in the 2024 calendar year, his on-base percentage is .596. Good pitch, good location on 2-1. You find a hitter at that point ready to go. They're geared up. It's a hitter's count. It's 2-1. Nice little tailing BP fastball over the outer half. That curbs your enthusiasm, if you will, and there's not a whole lot you can do with that pitch. 2-2 the count. Ethan's mom is Bethany. And the 2-2 right into the chest protector of Ferrari. Watson Ferrari, one of those names that as he works behind the plate, we'll pause and watch today. Out of Okemos, Michigan. He's the #1 catcher in the state of Michigan. Summer and Andrew, his parents, goes down to a knee as he works behind home plate. And the 3-2 inside corner. Good cut to it. That's strike three. Josh Croft is behind the plate. And Croft has made it clear today, gentlemen, you brought a bat, swing it. A little bit of extension to both of those corners. Oh, and 1 the count to R.D. Nelson. Rising 9th grader, Pope High School, Marietta, Georgia. He'd love to play for those Georgia Bulldogs someday. The son of Christy and David. His older brother's Noah, he's 17. There are boys all over the house, and they honor certainly the memory of some. David, his dad, as we told you. And here, watching RD hit, Noah, the older brother. And his younger brother is Austin. Austin had a twin. Twin was Matthew, and he plays to honor Matthew. They lost Matthew last year, August of 2023. Can't imagine parents losing a child, a young man losing a younger brother. The challenge of going through that. And when he was talking about his brother, he said, oh, he's an amazing baseball player. Team won the 8U World Series. We lost him on August 5th, he shared. He had so much energy. He was always, and he said this in bold, ready to play, my brother. Bounce that one back to the screen. 24/7 baseball. Final thought on that, as he said, and this won't surprise you when you think of these young athletes. He said, I push myself to be better so I can do what he doesn't get to do now. Honor roll student in the classroom. R.D. Nelson, left on left. The 1-2 is outside. 2-2 the count. R.D.'s a pitcher, hitter, gets on base a ton. Still wants to add some velo to that arm as he develops as a pitcher. As the 2-2 is outside. Likes building, likes putting his hands on tools and being creative. Loves being outside. That one's low. That's ball 4. So RD is on. That's what your number 3 hitter is supposed to do. Find their way on. Jackson Romeli now. Hightower Trail Middle School in Marietta, Georgia. He hopes Tim Corbin calls his name someday. And maybe Georgia, that's on the list as well. But Vandy in Georgia, as you see the 2024 numbers. Pops that one to the right side. Takes a peek here on field 1 at East Cobb as that one trickles foul, bounces right back in. Well, we're just getting started, right? This is a year-round facility that is such a springboard for amateur baseball, but it's also a memory machine. You come here, you spend time with your family. Sometimes there's brothers and sisters looking on. They're on campus watching you play. Fields upper tier, fields lower tier, youth fields, regulation. A field that would be just fine to host a major league game as far as the regulation size goes and the measurements of all that goes on. But gosh, players like Mookie Betts and Mike Trout and on down the list, Freddie Freeman, all played events here at East Cobb starting their career. As that one is low and inside. Scampering into scoring position there is Nelson. But the plane's on the runway. I mean, it's always on the runway, but it's about to take off. Summertime at this complex is unmatched. Bouncing ball, third base side. Gobbled up out there at third. Shot on across. East Cobb Angels Artillery Baseball. Artillery out of New Jersey, but players from all over east of the Mississippi. Heck, even some from west of the Mississippi. Ajay Blueberry's unique blue on the logo. Gibbstown, New Jersey, the spot. And meet Cole and Ty, Austin and Watson. Oliver Cox and Brendan will meet Kevin Bell and Cooper Sanders. As we take a look at the lineup, they may sneak a few extra hitters in there as well, like Jeffrey Rich and Carter Branson. Lineups presented by Launch Hydrate. Xavier Juarez takes the rock and he rolls. We had him at number 22. Why not just switch that jersey up? Go with number 2. That's kind of the fun of chasing each week. And we get it, right? This isn't the major leagues. This isn't Division I college baseball. This is travel baseball. But you should see us running around for a couple of days connecting with coaches and sharing rosters and lineups. Here's the goal. Why? Why do we do that? We want to introduce these athletes to you. And so a chance now, as you see Ajay make his way out to third base. And Xavier, who is at Marietta High School, a freshman, would love to go to Ole Miss or Oregon someday. Mom is Lisbeth Juarez. He's an only child. That was Ronald Acuna as he rocks and fires and sends one high to Cole Kreisman. So Cole's from Knoxville, Tennessee. He's an 8th grader at Christian Academy of Knoxville. Plays for TN Nationals, 15U Scout, and this artillery team as well. Cole's the shortstop. His guy, as Juarez, we continue to introduce who he is. Cole's guy's Dansby Swanson. He's quick, he's accurate, smart decisions on the field. So that's shortstop. That takes a good-looking flutter changeup. I like that pitch. 2-1 the count. This shortstop, left-handed hitting. Dansby, a right-handed hitter. Also watches a lot of video, hits up YouTube, and watches Derek Cheater how he played. As that one is high, 3-1 the count. Cole, a PG National All-State Select Championship, was on Team Tennessee. Earned a PG MVP at the 13U Southeast Regional Championships. 3-2 the count. When he steps into the classroom, the results are good. A 3.8 GPA. See what he did last year. That one's high. What he's doing this year is finding his way on, especially today for Cole. Artillery baseball. 391 college commits in their brief history. They've had 21 top 3 finishes at perfect game events, 9 championships, 10 players drafted out of their program. They're going to have one soon. Ike Irish at Auburn, who's an alum, an incredible catcher. As that one is high to Ty Homestead. Quick snap throw. O'Malley sends that one down. Jackson O'Malley, the catcher. Homestead, the center fielder. And Ty from Harriman, Utah. Just under 15 years old. 6'1", 170. There is presence in that box. That's a big swing, using that leverage, fouling it off. We've seen Ty at now a dozen perfect game events. He's pitched well, 15 2/3 innings this year at PG events with 18 strikeouts. He's played in 18 games. Has 15 walks, 5 hits during that time. So he's been on base a bunch. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at the trees here at Field 1. It's such a spectacular spot. You know, you think of East Cobb, it's Fenway Park, it's Dodger Stadium, it's Wrigley Field of amateur baseball. As that one dots the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Homestead in the last year on the mound alone has improved 10 miles an hour in the world of velo. That one clicks away and goes too far to be recovered, so Cole Kreisman moves in to second base. Now, Romeli will tell you, that's me. I should have caught that one, a pass ball there, very catchable pitch. There is one thing we have to remind you, though. When you think of these teams playing together, they practice together, they play together, but it's still more of an all-star situation. You're getting to know pitchers, getting comfortable. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Homestead. I've got to be honest with you, and I think you may join me after watching that swing. I'm excited for some solid contact. Whoa. Wow, look at that leverage. Big bat speed. Just came up empty. Head drifted off, a little bit aggressive. Austin Brown is the right fielder, and it's his turn now. He takes a pitch just off the plate. Austin, another Utah athlete, an 8th grader. He'll be at Wasatch High School. He's from Heber City, Utah. He's got some fun school choices, some fun dream schools as he waves late. 1-1 the count. How about BYU? Not a surprise being a Utah native. But Auburn, but Oregon State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, those are his dream colleges, Austin Brown. Just in and off the plate. You know, he said, Austin was talking about travel ball, and he said, look, it's allowed me to see baseball in different ways. Different levels of competition, diverse places, and a much higher level of intensity. It's helped me push to work harder to compete. As he competes with that pitch and skies it to the right side. That's Joey Kim, the second baseman. Kim ends up leaving his feet. A little bit of a slide, but Joey makes the play for the second out. The final thought on travel ball from Austin Brown, and it's the most warm thought, if you will. He said, I'm grateful for the opportunities it's given me. Catcher Watson Ferrari now. Okemos, Michigan, one of the top players in the country heading into the draft this year. Caleb Bonemer is from Okemos, Michigan. At one point ranked #1 in the country. Caleb homered a couple times at last year's Perfect Game National Showcase. Ferrari's an 8th grader at St. Martha. Pretty pitch, hits the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Watson, the son of Summer and Andrew. On the ground. Played on a backhand, hopping up. That's a long throw across the diamond. But a tough play for Machini and not in time. Uncomfortable contact at times can be your friend. That's what happened that time for Watson as he legs out. A pitch that tied him up pretty nicely. It was a good pitch, but it's an infield single for Ferrari. Runners on first and third, 2 outs. Perfect Games game of the week. Super 25 Georgia qualifier, the champion of this event. A paid berth to the Super 25 event this summer in Nashville, Tennessee at the 14U age group. The Angels in white and red, the East Cobb Angels, artillery baseball, players from around the country, but based in New Jersey. Left-handed bat, slightly open stance for Hudson. Shoots that one right back to the screen. Hudson from Guntersville, Alabama, where he goes to their middle school, Guntersville Middle School. He's an 8th grader. Jack Caglione loves watching him, loves reading about him, catching his clips. This is a two-way player, too, when you think about Oliver. He's the DH at this point in the game.
Jeff, it's courtesy for the catcher.
Runner on the move. Fired down. Let's see if that runner heads home. You bet, with the head first slide. Look over here, look over here. That way I can swipe what I want to swipe, and that's exactly what occurred. Courtesy runner trotting out there for Ferrari takes off, draws the throw. Throw sails a little bit high from Romeli. Back behind, nothing Joey Kim could do with the head first slide. Cole Kreisman scores easily. Chasing up and out of the zone, but not before Artillery got things going. Aggressiveness on the base pad for Vullimeri's team. Artillery leads it through one. It's our perfect game of the week. And 1-0 is the score at the Super 25 Georgia qualifier. Trying to scratch and claw their way to a championship at East Cobb. Presented by Launch Hydrate, it's Perfect Games, Game of the Week here on Perfect Game TV. I'm Darren Sutton, and into the top of the second inning we go. We got a chance, as we told you, to hear from the leaders of both of these teams. When you think about Artillery baseball, when you peek at this roster alone, and this roster runs deeper than the players that have arrived here at this event. Tennessee, Alabama, Minnesota, New Jersey, Michigan, Utah, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Indiana, Connecticut, Missouri, and Maryland. Fun group. And when you think of the East Cobb Angels, incredibly local, by design. Both teams doing exactly what they want to do with their programs, and because of that, both programs successful. They're both leaning in. Both leaders, families, athletes, all leaning in. And I think the goal for both is the same. Let the athletes win. And you can do that in different ways. Little tail on that left-handed fastball. Slips away from Connor Sprague of the East Cobb Angels. His baseball nickname, the Sigma. He's a 9th grader. A 2027 is Connor. Walton High School. Older brother is Tyler, 17 years old. His mom is Cindy. His dad is Chris.
Yes.
Did he? Did not. 2-2 the count. Yes, he did, actually. That evened it up. It was 2-1. Now it's 2-2. Connor, a really good tennis player. As a matter of fact, he's moved to regionals as far as playing tennis goes. That hits the inside corner. That's been a strike all day for Josh Croft, and he rings him up again. Good cut to that pitch, going out and getting it. Maybe a little bit off the inside corner for Austin Hill. As that one is, I think more than anything, that last pitch where he maybe got a bit of a benefit was that Ferrari had set up outside, had to reach all the way back inside, yet he still got the call. One and 0 the count. Outside, 2-0 the count. So as Juarez hits, and he's also his foe on the mound as the pitcher, Hill has shared with us as far as his scouting reports go. First, I have a high baseball IQ, 3-pitch sequence. Good base runner, big arm in the outfield. Cut on and missed as he swings right through that one. Hill, the pitcher. Broke his pinky first weekend out. Had to have surgery, actually, which is a really tough break. He's been out 4 weeks. He's worked back through the pain, and he's pumped to be back out there. As that one is low. Xavier loves watching Ronald Acuna play. He wraps that bat back behind his helmet. He doesn't love watching Ronald Acuna play. 3-2 the count. Even if you're a Phillies fan or a Mets fan, I hear you watching, and I understand where you're coming from. But he's fun to watch play, isn't he? Maybe not against your team. 3-2 the count. That's outside, and it's ball 4. Keep an eye out for a courtesy runner out here. See if they'll run for the pitcher. Although the pitcher will tell you, look, I'm a good runner. It may happen to be the pitcher right now. Rodolfo Avila is the third baseman. Marietta Middle School. He's a 7th grader, so getting a chance to play up a little bit. It's got to be fun. 2029. There's some presence in that 7th grade frame, isn't there? Let's watch this pretty left-handed swing. And we say 28, but Rodolfo actually shared with us that he's a 2029. So now as a throw trickles away, how far will the runner go? Juarez moves to second base on a miscue from Austin Hill and his first baseman, Cooper Sanders. Now it's RBI time. Avila would love to play at LSU someday. Moves up that back leg. And knuckles that one out past the pitcher's mound. It settles right there. Everybody's safe. He didn't hit that but about, what, 60 feet, 6 inches? Couldn't be played by Hill. And then it had so much English on it that you had Bell, you had Kreisman, all trying to help out, just doing anything they could to play this one. Oh, yikes, that's a tough feeling. That's Bell coming in from third base. Nothing worse if you're that man. Nothing better if you're Avila, because he knocked his knuckles off with a very good pitch. 1-0 the count. Joey Kim, the second baseman. Kim hits that one toward the hole, trickling with a diving attempt. It's Kreisman. He'll throw behind the runner at third. Couple of back-to-backs. You've got a walk, you've got a miscue. Then neither ball hard hit, but you know what? Couple of base hits, Avila and Joey Kim, who steps onto that scale. You saw that graphic a moment ago at 100 pounds. 100 pounds of swing right there. And you know what? It was perfect. So the East Cobb Angels, bases full. A little bit of pressure, some traffic, and an opportunity for Sebastian Cross, the left fielder. Good fastball zips over the outside corner. Velocity this inning with the fastball, 76 up to 79 miles an hour. This is a 9th grader at Walton High School here locally in Marietta. Head drifted off the swing there. Uppercut coming up empty. 0-2 the count. Ross's dad is Steve. Mom is Teresa. He's got younger siblings. Matthias, his brother. And twin sisters, Isabel and Caroline. Pretty good take. Nothing wrong with going back there again, though. He's a big Red Sox fan. That's his team. One and two the count. Lifts that one, shallow left. Cox coming in, just deep shortstop, if you will, not deep enough. He skipped it by the cutoff man there, Cole Kreisman, but right behind is Watson Ferrari to make the play. Boy, what a huge, huge second out. Again, there hasn't really been comfortable contact at all from Austin Hill. There's been a couple of walks. There's been 3 strikeouts already. And then just really not squared up baseballs at any level. Charlie can try it again, though. McWilliams, he struck out looking back in the first inning. He's got the bases loaded and 2 outs. Check swing as he pops that one foul. That was almost a, I'm in between committing on this swing. East Cobb reminds their athletes, Victor Moreno and his staff, that baseball is a privilege. It's not an entitlement, especially recognizing the sacrifices of the family as the count's 0-2. Looking at a pretty good change up there. Think of the history of East Cobb and you think of alumni. Jason Hayward, Buster Posey, Dansby Swanson. They want to waste that one up. Will they get it there? Yeah, missed the spot a little bit. Another in-between roller and not an easy play. As that one is served right on down the first base line and a couple of runners come on down. It's been contact that has rewarded the Angels, and because of that, they've got 2 runs on the board, leading Artillery 2-1. Just contact, that's all it has taken. And it's not netted hard-hit baseballs, this one included. Just an in-between swing, not a big follow-through, left his feet. And by the time he hopped up, the throw was errant, and 2 runs score. They were, the base runners that is, moving anyway already. All right, they're going to try and get in a run down, see if they can steal that run before they get the run down completed. The run down, the run has come on down. The run has swiped through to the plate. And the run counts. That's a 3rd run, doing little things really well. The strike zone's been expanded. They've decided they'll chase the baseball to make contact. And because of that, what a great story for Victor Moreno's team, the local squad, if you will, putting bat on baseball, and good things are happening. 3-1. Victor Moreno's East Cobb team grabs a 3-1 lead on the perfect game of the week. What does it mean to Victor and his players and families be tied to the historic East Cobb program? With 80 MLB alumni, Mr. Moreno shares that with us.
Tradition. It's number one. It's sometimes you feel like it's the grandfather of travel baseball in the local Georgia area, and kids find their way there, and it's a great place just to go ahead and show them the path that other guys have done it. They've been in your situation before, and there's avenues to get to any level of college if you want, or really just high school. The biggest thing is just a lot of these kids want to play high school, and this is a super competitive area. So we're blessed that kids come into the area and come into the facility, and we can build strong teams. My teams range from AA through major. It just depends on the year, but that you can help kids transfer their ability to something a little bit bigger for them.
Love that. And this is a great example. This game today, look, we've said where these players are from. It's a New Jersey-based team with players from all over the country. The point that he is making is we are local. We won't expand beyond local. But look at the opportunity that my athletes get as that one is rolled out to short. Machini shoots it on across. And in time for the out to get the talented Braden Cox. Yeah, I love the attitude. I love where he's coming from there. And it makes a lot of sense. You know, Braden Cox, by the way, from Wall Township, New Jersey. He'd love to go to Clemson someday, the son of Mackenzie and Jay. Brendan Kutz takes outside on the corner. Brendan from Knoxville, Tennessee. He's at Farragut, where he's an 8th grader, 2028. Christina and John, his parents. This talented catcher loves Yachty. He said, but for present day, I choose Sean Murphy. That one wraps around the outside corner. He said, look, as a catcher, I look up to these guys. I've learned stances, I've learned mechanics, and many other things, and watch them communicate with pitchers. He said, they're catchers communicating with the best pitchers in the world. I've learned a lot from how they handle themselves as he spoils a 2-strike pitch away. Now, athletically, Brendan has played baseball his entire life, or at least as long as he's been physically able. Middle school baseball champion. He's played football, where he's a wide receiver and a tight end, a couple of championships there. And also basketball. He's got the hardware from basketball, too. And he did share with us, Brendan, as far as his athleticism goes. I got to check and see how tall he is. So he's 5'11". Brendan is 5'11", and Brendan made it clear. 3 words. They're basketball words. I can dunk. How about that? Gives that one a ride. Pretty swing to the zone as he lifts that one to right field. Lifted underneath that one just a little bit with the hands. I can dunk. Never was I able to say that. At 6'5". That is a pretty swing. He didn't square it up like he wanted to. Not a big leg kick, just a simple move of that lead foot. Here's Kevin Bell Jr. Takes a changeup that misses outside and off the plate. North Carolina native, 2028. Two 2-0 the count. Just a couple of months past his 14th birthday. And in the class of 28s, this is the #1 right-handed pitcher in North Carolina. Well, they scored their 3 runs, and then Juarez went out and just shut him down. Got him back into the dugout. Sits down artillery. 1, 2, 3. 3-1. The Angels on top. Hey there, amateur baseball fans. Glad to have you back on Perfect Game TV's Game of the Week. It's our pleasure to bring the future of the game to you. whether that's young men that are just about heading into the draft, right around the corner, or whether it's a 14U team as they're busting their tail throughout the week as well. That's what this game of the week is all about, and that's for me, one of the greatest things we do, because it's a great diversity of teams and athletes from different parts of the country, different skill sets, but they kind of all share in common, or at least I hope they share this in common, that they just love our game. And they're competing. Tons of sacrifices for moms, dads, stepmoms, stepdads, grandparents, siblings. All that goes into who Perfect Game is as a group, providing that platform since all the way back in 1995 with an alumni of more than 2,000 big leaguers. Here, the story has been the team in red. Their last inning, again, they didn't hit a baseball hard. They ran the bases aggressively. A handful of infield hits, a miscue, a walk, and now why not try to bunt your way on? Ethan Machini. Shortstop takes up and away. Ethan did a nice job last weekend in the state championship at the 14U age group as he slashes that one foul. Had a couple of hits, had a walk, got on base at a 500 clip. He was an all-tournament team member at the 14U PG Southeast Super Regional. That's a big event. Threw 5 innings, struck out 5, and had a 476 on base. He was active. He had 6 hits, double, triple, had 4 walks, so 10 times on base over a long weekend. His last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events, he's been an all-tournament team member. Pops that one up. Back of second base. Shallow center field. Nice job, Homestead. You could see his wave his arm there. And call off Jeffrey Rich. Now, this truly is, when you think about the artillery team, this truly is an all-star team working together. And therefore, and I'm sure Ajay talks about this a lot, communication is paramount and sometimes forgotten. Almost like in an all-star game when you see players play together. So that's cool to see Homestead doing what he does and what he should do. Letting him know that I'm the quarterback out here and a teammate who he doesn't play with on the day-to-day and week-to-week. Nelson walked in his first at-bat. RD pulls that one to the right side as it hugs the line. One step to his left, Cooper Sanders in time for the out. So here in the top of the 3rd inning, the contact has not sent quite the reward into that East Cobb dugout. Our production team is in Orange, California, led by Steve Banta. I'm Darren Sutton, calling this game in Scottsdale, Arizona, at the satellite studios for Perfect Game TV, to the middle of the diamond and into center field, where it's a base hit for Jackson Romeli, the catcher. Now that was squared up. Yeah, just a nice sinking line drive, a couple of hops through the infield. That's all you need, Doctor. For Connor Sprague. 1-0 the count, 3-1 the score. Two and 0. That one right out of the catcher's mitt. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count on Connor Sprague. Ajay Vulameri's artillery team, intimately tied with PRD Baseball and PRD Baseball Academy. The leader of that group is Pat Gironi. As that one skips in there, enough for the runner to slide in safely and move up. There's PRD Ghost. There's stacked recruiting, and then there's artillery. Sean McCorkle, one of the key leaders, the president of Team Ops. Slices that one to the right side. Up the ladder, the play is made by Cooper Sanders. Verzon came on and ran. He is stranded out there on the base pads. Here at East Cobb, our game of the week has the home team, the East Cobb Angels, on top of artillery baseball, 3-1. East Cobb baseball, the Angels artillery leader Ajay Vulameri on the entire lineup. Minnesota, New Jersey, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Connecticut, and Maryland. Cold weather states he's not afraid to recruit talented players from that spot. Here's Ajay talking about the draw to those athletes.
I always keep going back to the States, and it's kind of cool because, I guess a couple weeks ago we had those couple kids from Indiana, and they both knew who Cameron Tilley and Matthew Fisher were. They're from the same area, so there's already a connection there. It's easy when you talk to a kid out of Michigan when you say, hey, Cale Bodemer played here for 4 years, or Ike Irish. The Utah kids, we had, Luke Anderson and Peyton Googler, who were ranked pretty high by you guys at one point. And you just keep bringing up those certain kids and certain connections. And honestly, for us, this 8th grade team, I've always built this as like a tryout developmental year. From the perspective of, I don't have kids play full time. That's why the roster is so big. It's actually built like event by event, with the sole purpose of, yes, for me, it's great that I get to see kids for the first time. But the bigger piece I tell parents is, it's better for you guys to see for yourselves. It lets them test drive me in the program as well.
I love that. And again, it's not all cold weather states. We've talked about that. You see beyond Minnesota, Jersey, Michigan, Indiana, Connecticut, Maryland, even Utah has challenging weather throughout the winter. As that one is slashed towards deep right center field. Ranging, making an over-the-shoulder catch out there is Connor Sprague. But Cooper Sanders, speaking of cold weather, from Lino Lakes, Minnesota. Sanders, a really highly thought-of athlete, top 75 athlete in the country in the class of 2028. He's thrown 85 as a pitcher, the son of Stacy and Brad. I look forward to seeing him swing it again because he really drove that baseball. That's one thing that's refreshing when you talk with Ajay about the transparency that he shows as a coach. His approach is his group's approach. It's about a little bit more about the players, showing their personality, how they go about providing a team as a group and a gathering, more of an all-star team. And I think, as I said earlier, and you can't really say it enough, the approach is very different for these two teams, but the goal is the same: help the athlete evolve and grow. I guess if you'd liken it to going to one health club, one gym. When you walk within the walls of that building, there are a million ways to get fit. You could take a class, you could do a treadmill, hop on a bike, lift weights for an hour. I think that there's one way to develop baseball players, one way to put together a travel team, kind of makes me giggle. I'm guessing you too. So that's why this matchup is fun. Jeffrey Rich is the second baseman. Jeffrey Jr. fouls it off. He's from Hampton Cove Middle School. Where is that? That's in Huntsville, Alabama. And he would love to play for West Virginia someday. Tigers' Javi Baez is who he loves watching play. Excitement, energy. Tigers need him if they want to stay in their spot, which is a good spot this year.
Hey, yes.
Rich, who plays second base for this team, makes it clear that he's gotten better anticipating, situationally, defensively. First step. It's all gotten better in the year 2024. 3-2, and we'll do it again. Really well-rounded student. Very athletic. As a pitcher, it's a curveball, fastball, changeup when he pitches. And the 3-2 is lined toward the right side and chasing that one into foul territory. Making a fine play is R.D. Nelson. That one down off the end of the bat. It was squibbing away. He almost didn't get there. And the outstretched glove in the perfect spot. Nice play by R.D. Cardi B. Carter Branson from Knoxville, Tennessee. Skies that one again. An opportunity for Nelson. Teammate Romeli as that one bounces foul. Branson gives a ton of credit to his hitting coach. His name is Will Maddox. Saying, boy, he's helped me a lot. Simplifying things in the box. Simplifying my approach. I've had more extra base hits. And I've lowered my whiff percentage. Or another way to say it is I've made more contact. Breaking ball on the corner, 1-1 the count. Nice little curveball there. He hasn't thrown too many of those. That's a straight downward breaking pitch that you've got to stay on top of. And if you do, it's tough to command. 1-1 the count. Back to the screen it goes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 3-1 the score. Back to the screen, we do it one more time. East Cobb Angels with a fun Angels tie. Victor Moreno was sharing with us that, yeah, he's an Angels fan throughout his life. He's from Southern California, north of LA. Angels his team, though not the Dodgers, but his team kind of got together. They had a team name change here not too long ago, and they said, we want the Angels. And certainly he was excited to make that change. Robbie Harrell, Lyric Harrell, Stephen Fricks, part of the coaching staff for the East Cobb Angels. Well, that was a good exhale, wasn't it? Before Carter gets back in the box. 4.0 student in his 7th and 8th grade years. Full count, 2 outs, 3-1. The Angels on top of Artillery. Artillery based in New Jersey with players from multiple states, as we've shared. And the Angels all right here, very, very local. Marietta, Austell, Woodstock. That's it. Fly ball, center field. Hangs up nicely for Charlie. And McWilliams puts that one away. What can you say about Xavier Juarez? I'll tell you this. He has sat down 7 in a row. and 6 in a row since his team got him 3 runs. To the 4th inning we go in our perfect game of the week. East Cobb Angels out of Georgia 3, Artillery Baseball 1. Perfect Game TV presented by Launch Hydrate. Well, we want to have you find us. We want to have you find us on the app, certainly. Go ahead and download the app. You can do that at the App Store. But we also want you to head over to Roku TV because many of you stream so much of your programming. You grab your live TV from there as well. So go ahead and head to Roku TV. Be a partner with Roku, and you can find PGTV on channel 237. Put it on that big TV in your family room. I'm in Arizona, and that means you can put it outside while you're barbecuing on your TV out there. The app is amazing. The website is fine. A Perfect Game TV, wherever you find us. We like Roku. We are the home of amateur baseball. Austin Hill, right back to work. Ready to extend himself just a little bit. Fun to see as we head into the 4th inning. Xavier Juarez, Rodolfo Avila, and Joey Kim. Juarez working on the mound, and it's been good. Just strike throwing, comfortable, as that one is high. 1-0 the count. Xavier walked. He came around to score back in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Austin Hill, his battery mate Watson Ferrari. 1-2 the count. 3 hits for the East Cobb Angels, 1 hit for Artillery Baseball. Two and 2 the count. Love seeing the motion behind the home plate area. Snacks, the gear, the families. You had your moms and dads. If you can get there early enough, you can get one of those chair backs. That's always a great place to settle in. But shaded bleachers as well. This is really the home and the heartbeat of the junior and sophomore national showcase. That'll be going on in June. Excited to really hunker down, and we've always been a big part of that event. A Game of the Week is wonderful because we bring it to you in the middle of what may be known for us as a bit of a quieter season. Summertime's our busier season, but there's no way in the world we're going to miss a chance to lift up athletes and go too long. We have live shows throughout the week. We have interview shows throughout the week, but it's about the games. There are no other shows. There's no social media. There's nothing at all without the games and the athletes. So that's why we're glad. We wish we could do more, but glad to bring you this Game of the Week. as a leadoff walk to Xavier Juarez. Ajay heads out. He'll make a move. Austin Hill. Good today, really good today. Look, if you think about it, some check swings, a couple of ill-timed walks. His teammates are there to thank him for his efforts. We say goodbye to Austin Hill from Benton High School in Alexander, Arkansas, the talented 2028. More in a moment. Work. He's loose. He's out there playing the outfield. First pitch is fired for a strike. Beautiful throw, and the baseball popped free. Otherwise, it looked like that throw would have got him. Stolen base there. The aggressive move on the base pads. Angels figuring, why not? Let's get some more if we can. Rodolfo Avila. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Pretty pitch. Fun to watch these mechanics. Singled back in the second inning. Kind of a check swing single, but it worked out perfectly. Spoils a breaking ball away. That's a good looking pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Brown, an 8th grader, working on the mound, on the attack as he fires a strike over the inner half. Fastball's been 77 to 79 miles an hour early going. All-A student, this pitcher in the classroom throughout his last 3 years as a student. He's a big Max Clark fan, super prospect Max Clark. PG All-American, Indiana native, and Detroit Tigers prospect. That's the player he looks up to and watches closely. Fastball, curveball, some zip on that fastball. He has touched 82. Has topped out at 82 miles an hour. Reaches back and gets a little something extra that time. 79 miles an hour getting the strikeout. Little bit, you could see a little bit of arm side run and vert as well. Some elevation on that pitch. Good pitch. Really stayed on plane all the way home. That one dives down and away. 1-0 the count to Joey Kim. Angels 3, Artillery 1. 2-0 the count. Kim reached back in the second inning, an infield single. Ended up stealing home on a rundown that ended the inning in that second inning. Scored the third run. Good aggressive base running. As he takes over the inner half, 2-1 the count. Joey's at Mount Bethel Christian Academy. Andrew and Jahi are his parents. He's been an honor roll student too. This is a good student. Last 3 middle school years, honor roll in the classroom. Into the catcher's mitt it goes. 2-2 the count. Check swing. Really didn't follow through like he wanted to. And look, he tells you he's going to grow. We all know this as parents. We see it. But he says, my size is definitely a challenge, but I work hard enough to overcome it. It's still that in-between age. Everybody grows taller, stronger at different times. And you have to love taking on this challenge. If you're an athlete, if you're passionate about the sport. I asked Joey, in a decade, what will you be doing? He said, I'll be in a baseball environment somewhere. I hope I'm playing. If I'm not playing, I'm coaching. 2-2 the count. Just got a piece as he fouls that one off. Fastball just off the plate. Good pitch. Good take. One away. That one's outside. Just one out. That one down and away again. And it's ball 4. Throw goes down that third base line. A run will score. And again, aggression on the base paths, and then a little bit of help from artillery. And it's 4-1. Look, he took off on ball 4 on that pitch. Stolen base and a miscue on the catcher that time. And Kim, the pesky Kim, earns his way on with a walk. Here's Sebastian Cross. Cross fly to left field back in the second inning. One and 0 the count. 4-1 the score. A team of local athletes looking right at home. This is their complex. This is where they practice. Taking on a team of high follow ranked players. A player ranked 75th, player ranked 95th on the active roster. None of this happens, though, without the work on the mound of Xavier Juarez, as that one's high and away. 3-0 the count. They call him Coach Vic. Victor Moreno. That's ball 4. Back-to-back walks and 3 walks overall in the inning. First Miller, now Brown has walked a couple. And Ajay will take the walk out. Let's see if he's going to make a decision here. All right, positive words of encouragement. He talks so much about letting the athlete sometimes stare that challenge in the face and letting them be them and handle it, providing guidance where needed and boundaries where needed, but otherwise Fun to watch as these athletes take on these kind of challenges. One out, couple of runners on. It's back to the top of the order, and Charlie McWilliams. Charlie shot a ball to the right side that ended up plating a pair back in the second inning. As that's a strike, 0-1 the count. Tried to chop that one. It looked like he was thinking bunt, couldn't commit to it, so it ended up with an awkward look that time. The 0-2. Ground ball, middle of the diamond, towards center field. Diving attempt. That one trickles on through. Will it plate another run? They'll stop the runner at third. The bases will be loaded. And so we'll do it now with just one out. Beautiful swing here. Beautiful approach. It's kind of a halfway swing, chopped through that baseball, and a really, really pretty approach that time. In on the hands. Machini. There's a head first slide. More contact rewarded. Now the throw is errant. Couple of more runs. Come on down. It's a celebration for the Angels. As they add to their lead more, it's now 6-1. Got a single. Bases loaded. Got a pitcher tying up a hitter there. Infield single, RBI, then a miscue sends another one on down. And there are runners on second and third now. Left-handed bat of R.D. Nelson. Nelson throws that one to the right side with the infield in. Hurrying to the bag just in time to beat him. And another run will score. It is 7-1.
Play, Jeffrey.
I love the approach of this East Cobb Angels team. It's simple. Make contact. Jackson Romeli, the catcher. Grounded out, singled.
Good.
Outside, 2-0 the count. Darren Sutton and our production team, glad to have you with us today. Romeli also grounded out to third. The 2-0. Up and away, 3-0 the count. Seth and Meredith, the parents of Jackson, loves Bryce Harper. That's ball 4. A couple of big innings, a big second inning. Now here in the top of the fourth, a big fourth inning. Inning that started with a walk. Connor Sprague, strikeout and a line out. And he's driven back to the bag. This artillery baseball team, the 28 class. You think of names historically that have played and worn the artillery uniform. Joe Mack, Marlins top pick in 2021. Johnny Farmello, Marlins again in 2023. Jacob Miller, another Marlins draft pick in 22. Brock Porter, Ike Irish, Caden Dana, all draft picks or college stars, all have worn the artillery baseball uniform. 1-1 the count. Takes that one right out of the catcher's mitt and rolls that one foul, and we'll do it again. Asher Thompson is running at first, by the way. AT, as they call him, or Ash, is from Marietta, 2028 Hightower Middle School. He's out there, the son of Todd and Brandy. Breaking ball inside corner. That's strike 3, but not before things have gotten really, really interesting. It's a shocking score thus far. These Angels having fun. Juarez with the walk, Kim with the walk, Cross with the walk, and then McWilliams makes contact, as does Machini, and good things happen. 7-1 the score, our game of the week. East Cobb Angels grabbing the headlines in this one thus far. Game of the week presented by Launch Hydrate. We've talked about the values for Victor Moreno and the East Cobb Angels, some of the expectations for the families and the athletes. I can tell you more, or let's listen to Victor as he expounds upon it.
Sometimes parents think if you make travel ball, you've made it. And really, it's just a game, number one. We expect our kids to be student athletes, but number two, it still requires diligence, discipline, work ethic to make yourself better at the game. So just because you might play at East Cobb or play at another local area program, you just got to keep working and help the parents understand that, number one, family probably comes most likely first to everyone. And this game, you can get really locked into it and kind of take yourself away from family. So in our program, we just try to keep a focus on family, on our time that we spend. We try to maximize our time on the field. And I try to keep my word to parents. If I say practice is going to end at 9:30 at night, it ends at 9:30 at night, because you know what, they give a lot to these kids, for these kids to play. We want them to devote at home, but I don't want to take families down, destroy their time. I want them to make sure that they can maximize their effort as well, but get the parents to really understand it does require a lot to work on. It does require a lot to do, but at the same time, a little bit at a time really just makes you better.
A little bit at a time just makes you better, and communication with parents and honesty with parents and understanding the values. Good stuff, good thoughts. Again, you can hear the entire conversations with both Victor Moreno and Ajay Volomiri tomorrow night on MLB Network Radio, post-game show to the Sunday game of the week. The only show devoted to amateur baseball. Catch it tomorrow night. In-depth conversations with both. And also brand new audio versions of my conversations with Nolan Jones of the Colorado Rockies and Bryce Terang, hitting, fielding, and the Brewers winning. That's our 4 conversations on MLB Round Trip tomorrow night. Pretty approach from Kreisman as he skies that one. Back of second base, very shallow center field. It's a long run for Charlie McWilliams, but Charlie puts it away and he gets Cole. Cole, who walked and eventually came around to score in the first inning. Xavier Juarez has been really good. He's thrown strikes. He's induced contact. His defense has been there for him. What are we looking at now? We have 1, 4, 7, 8 in a row sat down. A little breaking ball every now and then, like that one over the outside corner to Ty Homestead. Big, strong Utah man, the center fielder. Speaking of strong, hits that one hard. That one's down the left field line. Should be extra bases for Ty. Hustling on around towards second he goes. What a pretty swing of the bat. I'm not giving you true exit velocity, but that had some giddy up on it. Watch this swing. You know, it's funny. When you think of tall and athletic, it's a blessing. I mean, a real blessing, isn't it? Then you think about those long levers and how difficult it is to stay small, to stay quick, to stay short. That was a good example Ty showed us there. Victor Moreno, Robbie, Harrell, Lyric, Harrell, Stephen Fricks, the coaching staff for the East Cobb Angels. And now Austin Brown, who has started as a pitcher now the last couple of batters. Go back to that comfortable spot in the batter's box. He popped out to the second baseman. All right, let's see if Artillery, there's a lot of talent there, can get it going. They may be on the move. Brown lashes that one down the right field line. He takes the turn, turns around, and sees that he's got an RBI. Homestead with a pretty approach. There's a run there. Brown right behind him. Double, single, Artillery on the move back. It's 7-2. And you've got a feeling they're just getting going. Remember, and you are baseball fans or you're not watching this, this is second time through the order. And when you have a team that's pulled together, they may need that first time through. Watson Ferrari takes a pitch over the outside, but on the corner. 0-1 the count. That one trickled away, not far away from R.D. Nelson. That was a quick feet. Do you notice that? There was, when you watch the dive back there from Brown, those are really quick feet, and I think on top of that bag, he's got a move, can clean things up nicely over there. Let's see if he fires it over there again. Instead, it's blocked up. Oh, boy, a nice job keeping it with him, Rameli, but I think right now Brown kicking himself just a little bit. Understand down 5. We all respect that. Hard to pick up how far away it's going to go. Good move on the mound by Xavier. More of a B-class move that time. Of his third base camera taking a peek in, just really brings those gorgeous trees to life that surround this ballpark. There's a line drive up the ladder, turned into an out. On across, looking for 2, and they got 2. Oh! Hey, for those of you finding us right here online on Perfect Game TV, we're streaming the best content in amateur baseball, and we're doing it on an app on your smart TV, on your tablet, on your smartphone. 24/7, 365 games, features, documentaries. Hit that QR code. You can watch all day, every day, all year long. Perfect Game TV. Get the app. We are the home to amateur baseball. Braden Cox, the left fielder, takes the rock and he rolls. So we'll watch Cox go to work out on the mound. Austin Brown will flip-flop and head on out there and play left field. Brown, the new left fielder. So it's Brown, Homestead, and Brendan Kutz in the outfield. Kevin Bell, Cole Kreisman, Jeffrey Rich, Cooper Sanders on the infield. Watson Ferrari is the catcher. And now Brendan does the pitching on the mound. East Cobb with 3 runs in the second inning, 4 runs in the fourth inning, single runs for Artillery in the first and in the fourth. Thought for a minute there might be some momentum for East Cobb. Maybe get it going. There is a run rule of 8 after 5, but I really don't think that happens now. As a matter of fact, you've got to think Artillery is far from done offensively. We'll see, though. We'll see what this man has to say about it. The X-Man, Xavier Juarez. Juarez, great on the mound thus far. Walked a couple of times, scored a couple of runs, has stolen a couple of bags. Takes a strike over the outside corner from Braden Cox. 80 and 79, the first 2 pitches from that right arm. So some giddy-up coming on down that hill at East Cobb. And a good-looking breaking ball. Cued right off the end of the bat. Flip, just in time, covering nicely the athletic Cox. Made that one look easy. Rodolfo Avila, the third baseman, singled, scored, and struck out. 1-0 the count. It's funny, 80 was the first pitch. The breaking ball that was grounded out was 67 miles an hour. That's a window that you love, a gap that you enjoy having if you're a pitcher on the mound. Braden Cox from Seagirt, New Jersey. Up the ladder. That will trickle back behind the second base bag. And again, it's not scorching contact. It's just contact that's rewarded for Avila, and he's got himself a single. Hey, hit his spot. You could see Ferrari set up inside. I think if that pitch is a little bit lower, he's unable to elevate it and kind of have that Texas leaguer within the infield feel to it. 1-0 the count. Runner on the move. Throw is high, and it's a stolen base. So Rodolfo with the bag. 7-2. The Angels lead Artillery. Joey Kim, second baseman, on a couple of times, scored a couple of runs. Over the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Joey's younger brother is Joel. He's 10 years old. He takes high, 2-1 the count. Kim pitches some too, loves his curveball. Knows he can help the team in that area if needed. We're still at the age where a lot of these athletes will still pitch, and they'll Shohei it. Let's just go that way. But few of them stay in that two-way role. The percentages go down and down. They get into high school, get a little bit older. But most of the position players, let's put it this way, most of the position players still help as a pitcher, for sure. And Kim's one of those. Kim slaps that one to the right side. Ranging over to his left is Jeffrey Rich Jr., who makes the play in time for the out. Runner moves up to third. In this 7-2 game, the Angels maybe would love to grab one more. Sebastian Cross has been on. He's scored. He did so last inning. Tall, 5'10", lean, a $125. Good cut to that pitch as it dives down and away. We're up to 82 miles an hour now with this right arm. Swinging through that one, Braden Cox. Brady, as his mates call him. Loves Mike Trout. Trout, a Jersey guy. Swing and a miss. Oh, it's a good arm, isn't it? When you ask Braden what has occurred in 24 as far as growth, he says, look, my pitching game has evolved. Velocity, command, different pitches, pitch selection. And more than anything, I've gotten more mentally tough. He'll work out of the stretch with that runner at third. Blows him away with the fastball. There is a future on the mound. I know he's a talented enough athlete. Darren Sutton and our Perfect Game television production team presenting the PG Game of the Week. Partnership with Launch Hydrate. We love that that's brought up between innings, every single bump back. Going to be a big part of your summer and your training. We know it will. Launch Hydrate. Find it on Amazon and, of course, at every Perfect Game event. Elevate your game with Launch. 7-2 the score. Second at bat for Hudson Oliver. Same for Braden, who we watched pitch. Braden Cox and Brendan Kutz. It is getting later. Into the bottom of the fifth inning. Well within striking distance with the talent, though. Hudson Oliver up first. He'll wear that one. Looked like he got him in the hamstring. Below the backside there, so Oliver is on. Had some cut where it just kept running in and finally got him. Hudson out of Guntersville, Alabama, a top 1,000 player as it pertains to the rankings. And here's Braden. Braden Cox ranked as a high follow athlete as he takes a pitch in. 1-0 the count. Braden grounded out to short back in the second inning. Pretty good move and threw it away. He's loved his move. We've loved his move, but that move really only locks in if that throw's on top of the bag. And we all know that. Miscue there. With Juarez and Nelson trying to work together. Puts a runner in scoring position and a chance to edge closer. inside, 2-0 the count. Where did the wheels come off on this one? He's got that good move. Yeah, that was well off the mark. I think anytime you jump like that, too, and you spin, your eyes pick up the target, that lead shoulder can definitely pull you in the wrong direction, and that's exactly what happened. Hugging the line, driven deep toward right field, into the corner. That one goes. That ball is crushed to right. Talk about foul line to foul line power. Impressive. Braden, a presence on the mound, now in the batter's box. A double to right field. Gosh, he nearly hit that one out to right. Just a light wind here. Look at this approach. Foot down, let it travel deep. Level swing. Sprague kept going, kept going, kept going. Finally just ran out of room in the corner. That's a gift. That's a gift to be able to have a ball that deep in your approach and to hit it that far. Brendan Coots, he flying to right field back in the second inning. And Brendan hits a chopper out toward first. Played nicely by R.D. Nelson. Runner will move to third. Just one out in the inning. So a productive out for sure in a 7-3 game. You can make it 7-4 in the blink of an eye now. How about Kevin Bell Jr., Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Popped up to the first baseman last time up, and that one's high and inside. Five dozen PG events, and he is really heavily awarded. Two and 0 the count. He's won youth tournament championships back in 21, 22, 23. All tournament team member too many times to count, at least 24 times for Kevin Bell Jr. I like those shoes. I love what that Jordan brand is now doing with baseball shoes. Right down the middle, 3-1 the count. Big swing, fouls it off to the right side. Seven runs, 6 hits, and nary a miscue for the East Cobb Angels. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Artillery Baseball. Slashes that one toward right. Charging in, he'll play it. And that will play to run. Sacrifice fly and an RBI. Nice play by Connor Sprague. But another run and edging closer. Kevin Bell with an RBI. With the number 7-4, you'll definitely take that second out. That pitch was letter high. You see him got out on his front foot. His goal was to drive that run in. Almost looked like when you see a hitter during a hit and run take that approach, that contact no matter what is what I've got to do. And a nice job. As a matter of fact, 2 nice at-bats back-to-back. Coots moved him over. Bell got him in. 7-4. Cooper Sanders, line to right field. Funny, kind of dispels what would be a false narrative or a myth about travel ball, that it's just games and not enough practice. And I'm sure there are teams that may be guilty of that, but that was team baseball right there for a team that's just getting to know one another. I think there's the perception that you have, let's say, a high school team, and all they do is play for one another, and then a travel team that is more difficult to have occur. And we watched an example of how that isn't the case. I think it's about the coach, the kind of players you recruit, the standards that you set. Sure, there are selfish high school players and travel ball players, but that was fun to see. We like to stay positive on the game of the week. Many, many unselfish players out there. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. East Cobb Angels on top of Artillery out of Jersey, 7-4. Breaking ball. Nope. No. Josh Croft says, hold on now. Hold on. We'll let you know if it's a strike. Here's the thing. That's 4 baseballs outside. I get the sales job. But now they go back to work, and now they get strike 3. Fun last couple of innings for Artillery Baseball. They have found their bats, pretty approach, and some good unselfish team baseball. They took advantage of a miscue, and they kept moving him over and moving him in. Beautiful swing. That double to right as it hugged the line. Oh, baby, Braden Cox. 7-4 is the score. Ajay Vulameri, trusting and learning his communication with parents and also growing athletes from all over the United States. I spoke with Ajay, asked him about some of those standards, the expectations, and how he and Pat Gironi go about the business of helping players grow. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I would say the big thing is, I've always tried to treat this as not a business. I'm sure I've told you in the past, this is not my full-time job. So, one of the things, is, I don't want these kids to conform to any standards or anything like that. We're big on making, taking kids' personalities and who they are and helping them become better people, but without trying to turn them into robots either. Because I've always felt like there's no one way, one look that a player should play, a player should act. Obviously there's lines and there's guidelines, but, it's almost like I want, my staff, whether it's myself or Pat Gironi, and we've had conversations about this, about, kind of being bumpers for kids like a bowling lane.
I love that. I love that metaphor. It's a wonderful comparison. And when you have athletes from different parts of the country and you get to know the parents, most of the communication is virtual, and there's the trust in the way that Ajay and his team goes about their business. You can't say it enough how these two different programs go about it in different ways, as that one's driven toward right field and quickly turned into an out by Charlie McWilliams. But both of them successful programs, and it's fun to be a part of what they do. Again, you can hear tomorrow night my entire conversation with both Ajay, Victor Moreno, also Bryce Terang and Nolan Jones, major leaguers and PG alum. MLB Network Radio, slashing that one to the right side. Ethan Machini. Ethan singled in a run back in the 4th inning. Struck out looking and also fly to center field. The machine. As that one's high, 1-1 the count. These games, tournament games, these games, part of Perfect Games. Super 25 Georgia qualifier. Winner of this event, by the way, the champion. You win a paid berth to the Super 25 Nationals in Nashville, Tennessee this summer. So on a busy weekend with teams from different parts of the Southeast. That one's rolled out toward short. Got it down off the end of the bat. And a nice play made by Cole Kreisman, the shortstop, 6'3", on the ground out. There's a lot at stake. These games, by the way, played with run rules, as we talked about, and also played within roughly a 2-hour window, so we'll keep an eye on that should that window approach to make sure that everybody gets their game in today. 1-0 the count. R.D. Nelson. All the way to the backstop, that one goes. How about Braden's arm? We're still seeing 81, 82, up to 83 this inning. RD, slightly open stance, holds the bat away from his body. That one's way outside, 2-0. So RD, couple of dudes that he really likes when he bears down, watches video, watches games. Spencer Strider, Max Fried. We miss Spencer Strider for the rest of this year. All these athletes are local on the Angels team. Georgia-based, Marietta-based. He said because they're great pitchers who pitch well under pressure. He said, I've learned to use my legs more when I pitch, watching both of them pitch. They're both fun to watch, both built differently, both different styles. Both great athletes, great fielders, and that's ball 4. So Nelson, good day. He had an RBI last time, up a ground out and an RBI. He's also walked twice, so that post-game meal will taste very good with what he's been able to pitch in for the East Cobb team. He was hit by a pitch in game 1. By the way, the East Cobb Angels playing their second game of the day with the TB Blue Sox. They played to a 2-2 draw, so a 2-2 final that they'll have to work with. That pitch is high and inside. This man, Jackson Romeli, had a really good offensive game. He was 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. Drove in the lone runs in that game. Xavier Juarez had a single. Joey Kim reached. Charlie McWilliams reached. That was in game 1. Swing and a miss. Runner on the move. Another stolen base. Let's do a quick count of those stolen bases. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the game for the Angels? Really haven't crushed the baseball. They've been really aggressive on the base paths, taken advantage, and then been fortunate a couple of times. On his way to third, getting a little greedy. Let's see. A little bit greedy out there. The Angels, East Cobb, Artillery out of New Jersey, PG's Game of the Week. Had a chance to talk to Victor Moreno. So the Angels team name, Victor, does that mean you're a fan of the team? Here's what he said.
But I actually love the Angels since since the 7th grade. And one of my prized possessions was a Angels jacket that got stolen at a high school football game. But guys like Wally Joyner, D. Sarcina, dude, I knew guys like Adam Kennedy that I had played with in high school. Robert Fick, Brad Fulmer, guys that I played with that had moved on to that organization and played. And I wasn't fortunate enough to play that. I played college, but it was really cool to see a team that I think was Don Baylor days where I could watch guys play. Nolan Ryan was playing. So big names you'd hear, Topps baseball cards you would take and see these guys playing. And in California, you can always see a game. And they were more interesting to me than any Dodger team was. It sounds crazy. And but I've been a lifelong Angels fan. So I asked my players what to do, and they wanted a big league name, and they actually chose it. I didn't ask them to do it. They said, look, Angels sounds good. Let's do that. So I said, well, let's move forward. Let's go ahead and do it. So it's been fun.
Bearing that Angels name, a Southern California native, now a Georgia resident. East Cobb, of course, the history. And that Angels team name, and that's the why. And we've enjoyed hearing from both Victor Moreno and Ajay Volumeri, the coaches of these teams, and what has been a really good game today as we are up against the time here. And we'll see how much longer they let us play. We hope for a little bit longer. Here's Luke Reed. Reed is tied up. Pretty good pitch from Juarez. Luke Reed from Monticello, Arkansas. He's a 2028. Would love to go to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Arkansas, or Tennessee. Luke, the son of Tia and Les. Another one who loves Max Clark, one of his heroes, and a good student, a 3.5 GPA. Carter Branson fly to center field. Seven to 4 the score as that one dies down and away. 1-1 the count to Carter. Yeah, Reed's got a bright future. Looking forward to seeing how he does the rest of this event. Carter, meantime, into center field, down off the end of the bat, and that's a pretty swing and a base hit. So Carter, who, as we mentioned, put it in play, had a pretty nice pass on the baseball, now has a base hit to follow it up. Carter from Knoxville, Tennessee. I asked Carter as he now stands at first, hey, I'll bump into you in 10 years. What goes down with you? He said, I will have earned my college degree. I'll be playing at some level of professional baseball. Looking forward to that. Cole Kreisman, you can imagine now in this job for quite some time, building the content world at Perfect Game. How many of the young athletes have said to us, hey, in a decade, I hope to be in the big leagues. And they are. Conversations we've had with Bobby Witt playing in events like this, and Corbin Carroll playing in events like this, Gunnar Henderson, and we could go on and on. C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore. We saw them all at this age. It's been a thrill. It's kind of the birth of PG content back then. One and two the count. One away. Artillery trying to put something together. They can stack up a couple of runs back to back to back and get it going. Playing up against the clock just a little bit too. Bouncing ball up the ladder. Nice play. He bobbles it, recovers it, and steps on the bag for the second out. R.D. Nelson, who's done a nice job out there today when called upon. Runner moves to second. Score stays 7-4 on our Perfect Game of the Week. Don't forget Roku TV, channel 237. If you watch all of your additional programming on Roku, which I imagine many of you do, and you found us online, go ahead and put 237 as one of your favorites. Looking for something to watch, looking for sports, add us to your collection of sports destinations. ESPN, your regional sports network, and then us. We want to be where you find amateur baseball. Ty Homestead as that one flutters over the outside corner. So where do we start here? I know it's 7-4, but we may be coming to an end. We'll see if they call it based on time here in the 6th inning. But how about Xavier Juarez? And the job he's done. They gave him runs. He's thrown strikes. That one kicks away. Runner will move to third. He had a stretch, too. His team got him a bunch of runs early. Oh, was it 3 runs in the 2nd inning? And then all of a sudden he reeled off 3, 6, 7, 8 in a row he sat down. Right after his team got him runs. Love it, X-Man. Love it. 2-1 the count. High pop-up. Right side. Nelson. Let's see. Communicating nicely. And he will put it away. R.D. Nelson makes the play. And a fine play at that. The teammates high five. Both teams get together and up against the clock. This game will go final. Our perfect game of the week, it was a good one. Super 25 Georgia qualifier with the champions a paid berth to the Nationals in Nashville, Tennessee. But great hearing from Victor Moreno, leader of the East Cobb Angels, and Ajay Vulameri. We've heard from him a lot on Perfect Game TV.